Hey buddy, how's it going? I wanted to shoot this to you as a video. Call me later. I'm creating content all day today. But here's some things. And first of all, you're amazing. I love you. You love your energy. You look great. You look healthier than I've ever seen you. Your lady there, emotionally fit, healthy. I can tell you're in a really, really, really amazing place. And speaking of which, not only you were you in a great place emotionally and mentally, and it looks like financially as well. So you've made some strong commitments in your life, and that shows. It shows in your character, shows in how you're showing up for your folks. And as far as the great place, yeah, it was a beautiful place, great environment. Being really clear. So I mean, you're great. I love you. The clarity, you did the wheel of life and things like that, and the wheel of entrepreneurship, that was kind of like an aha. Even when you see a comedian, something's going in one direction and then there's kind of a change of direction, and that's how people get distinctions. And so as we deliver content as teachers, basically you want to think of it like this: data, like you give some data, you give some concepts, you explain something. Then there is usually a written exercise. So write this down: data, written exercise, partner share, group share, which connects it back to you. So think of it like a circle. So Tony Robbins shares 6 human needs. Written exercise where you write something down about your top two, share something, a distinction with the person in front of you. And now from the front of the room, Tony goes, who has something they'd like to share with the group? And he calls them somebody, and then he relates that intervention back to the content piece or to his next content piece. So it's very systematic. So he knows where he's going and he knows what he's looking for to take it to the next place. So, one of the things that you have to work on, I'm going to do videos on this. This is going to be my lead magnet, but it's first always in your communication. You talked about beliefs, so that you have to have a strong belief. The beliefs that I have in front of the room, people need what I have to say, like pain and pleasure. If these people hear what I have to say, like I'm so certain, a belief is a feeling of absolute certainty, and I'm so certain that if they take action on what I'm going to tell them, then they could experience a lot of pleasure. If not, they could experience a lot of pain. And so I'm so certain that they want to hear what I have to say. So your belief, second, is outcome. Before Tony does any talk or anything like that, he's clear about the outcome, things that he wants people to do, what he wants to come out of it, and then also how he wants the people to feel. So these are targets that he's hitting. Third is getting it in your physiology. Your energy was good. Taking these concepts where you're not intellectual in your head, but you've conditioned them. And I talk about this a lot. There's a difference between studying and training. Studying, you get all these ideas. Training, you get it in your muscle memory. You say something. When I first started working for Tony, I would say things like this. I would do an anchor to the event, and I would talk about a concept, and I was like, are you guys with me? Can you see how this would help you? And they say, yes. And I would condition. I say, and that is exactly what you experience by going to Unleash the Power Within. Boom. So I fire off an anchor, something I'd seen, Tony on stage. I've said that thousands of times. I've conditioned with certainty. And so you want to, as you break down your philosophy, so there's further things that you can do as well, but you want to make sure, as far as the structure of your content, you didn't have a really clear structure. You had things that you wanted to go over in your program. But people getting things in people's nervous system, and people wrote things down. But it was great, and everybody got a lot out of it. But to charge money, to charge a premium price, some people be attracted to the content just because it's you and they love you. But to make sure people have breakthroughs, like wow, changed my life. They need to have some strategy, some clear things that they've done. There's a strategy to helping create emotional breakthroughs, and we can talk about that sometime. It's something I've thought a lot about, and what you need to start to think about is all the programs you've gone to, your takeaways and your ahas. And I've got a Facebook group that I'm starting to build out for my own brand called 7-Figure Influence 101, and I'll tag you in a post today about your ideal client and avatar. And so you can start to guess, and be associated to their pains and wants and desires and needs. And even now going to a real estate company on the way there, I think, what's great, these people, they became their own bosses, but they're 100% commission. They're doing open houses. Thought they were going to be an entrepreneur. They used to have an employee mindset. Now nobody's telling them what to do. They're out there on their own. They're giving up their weekends. Not time with kids. They're at the beck and call of their fucking clients. So I think of all their pains and all their bullshit. And so I'm really associated to that. And Tony does. This is the work that Tony does before he's on stage as well. So to get people to pay for an event, or if you want to do a low price event. So you can do low price point with an offer at the end, or high price point, less selling, different offer at the end. So mastermind model, the model that I'm doing for my influence program, it's kind of like a coaching program for entrepreneurs. And I'm gonna frame it so that, these levels of influence, to be really great, you need influence yourself, others, whatever. Number one reason businesses fail is because of lack of capital. That's not because of passion or any of this stuff. Like, look, I don't have any fucking money. And so, my whole thing is going to be very raw and real about how do we influence people, everybody from the bank teller to getting upgraded to rental car, to influence ourselves and others and groups of people and create culture and community as leaders. So that's my process. And so I'm taking all their pain points and I'm relating it to influence. So I'm clear about their problems, objections, lacks of confidence, whatever, and I relate it to my thing. I position myself and my content as the answer to all their problems. It's not, and they realize that later, and I'll even say that, it's like, but they'll feel that way. They'll feel like, well, if I just got that handled, like some people are like, oh, if I just had the relationship, if I just had the money, it's never one thing, but it becomes their world. I love what Kanye West said. He said, in one of his songs, he says, having money isn't everything, but not having it is. So when you're broke, it's all you think about. So I'm going to position myself in a way and my content where my piece is so valuable. So they're pre-sold, they're pre-suaded, I've dropped seeds in their mind where like, this is the answer to all their problems. And they come there and they realize they need to be more expansive. So yeah, I would say be clear for what I'm going to do. I'm going to do these masterminds. It'll be like a $3,000 event, only like a handful of people. And on the back end, I'm going to sell them into a mastermind where it's $3K down, $2K a month. So $25,000 a person. My goal is just get 10 people in that, and that'll be around the middle of the year. Then I'll do another one towards the end of the year where I'll get another 20 people in there. So yes, that's $750,000. And I've seen the model. I know people working it. So I would say before we hop on a call, be really clear about what this is. I didn't feel the clarity of your outcome. Again, Tony, before he does anything, he's so clear in his outcome. Your outcome, I was clear about your outcome. You wanted to look good, you wanted to get some B-roll, you wanted to have some time with your friends. So you achieved all your outcomes. But if you want, what's the next level where you get people from not interested to committed?